Alright, so I think it's actually been exactly a week since I posted my last video, which I think that's the longest break I've taken since like the 2 month break I took between I think it was my second and third series. But yeah, so pretty much I only expected it to be like 2 or 3 days, but I got my wisdom teeth removed and I was really sore for like the entire time. Now it's getting a little bit better because I'm off painkillers now, and now I'm able to recover normally. So yeah, I'm making a video. From now on, it'll just be one per day. Actually, there will be no video tomorrow. Or no, that's a lie. There will be a video. So yeah, just one per day from now. There will be like another week, or another 2 weeks actually, where I won't be able to post, but that's not really important now. But yeah, I'm still going to continue the Game Mechanics and Fundamentals series because I finished the last victory type. I could do a time victory, but that's not really important. I did the science, I did the culture, or that's technically a tourism victory. I did the diplomacy victory and military victory, and all of those I also talked about like the relative, I don't even know what to call it, like the relative mechanics of, and like the fundamentals. Like I've talked about, I think in the science I've talked about like uh, I talked about the tech tree first off, and then I talked about like certain techs you go for. For culture, I talked about certain policies. For military, I talked about certain upgrades, and then diplomacy, I talked about certain types of city states. But yeah, for this one, I think I'm gonna talk about the city screen because I could probably just do like a 30-minute video on the city screen to be honest. But if this game would load, of course, I'm using an old save. This one was from like 2 or 3 months ago. But this is one of the better games I've actually did. I don't even remember when I got XComs, but it was pretty early. I don't think it was early as so early it was before 1900, like some people are able to do that. I did it in one online game, but I didn't have the production like I had for this game. Like, when I first got it, I had like, what I think, hold on. I've noticed that this probably isn't the best, but I have everything set on max, which is probably why it's like this. But also because it's late game, so yeah, I think. Oh yeah, what I did before Siege. I mean, technically, when you're using XComs, it's a war of attrition, so you might want to just grab cover instead. I think I talked about that during military video, but that's something I didn't do. What's the? I think it's P for paratrop. Yeah, just and then oh god, I'm not doing this. All right. So the city screen. All I have to really do is take a look at one city. I mean, there's just a lot of raw information here that I can talk about. I think I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I'd be doing this, but yeah. So, why is this unit still visible? It shouldn't be. Back here. I have no clue why that's still selected, but get out. There we go. Oh, it's because it's within vision. Alright, but, so now, you have obviously your city name. The star, it means that that's your capital. I can change the city name, so like, let's change it to my YouTube channel name. And there, it's called C. Generally, if you're doing multiplayer, you usually do a naming theme just for fun. You don't really try hard in multiplayer. Well, I mean, some people do. I sometimes do. Like, I've actually just recently won an online game, so I'm 3 for 4. But I would have lost tons of hours if they actually played out. But anyway, the resource demanded, what it does is, all it does is increase growth. Alright, so incense, if I got incense, which you can check through happiness, I don't have that. So if I get incense, it will increase growth. I don't know the exact numbers, but I guess that's it. Over here, this is where this just shows that it's part of my empire. That's the symbol for Carthage. This is really where all the, I guess, important information is. You have your citizen count, 36, which means I have 36 citizens to work between tiles and slots. Like, I could be working. Do I have, oh no, I don't have freedom. I have autocracy, I forgot. So normally if I had freedom, I would fill these all in, but I don't. So, yeah. And then there's a difference between food and excess food. So for like food, you have this city. Does it show? 60 from terrain and 10 from buildings. So that's in somehow 5 base. Oh, that's modifier. So I guess in total 77 food is being produced by my city. But 72 is eaten by citizens. Each citizen needs 2 food. And then the excess food, which is 5 excess food, or technically it's 6.25 for modifiers, but generally it's 5 without. And then the progress bar is the amount of progress you need for another citizen to be born. It scales up throughout the game. I'm not sure whether it's linear or exponential, but it kind of doesn't matter once you get chased to this side. Like, I could send food caravans and I'll probably be able to make it grow in like 5 turns, but or if I had the freedom policy for specialists. Because I'm pretty much working all the tiles. I'm only not working 3. Yeah, so excess food, and then it shows how much is needed for you at this current rate at an excess 6.25 food per turn to get to the amount. So like 336, I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure it rounds up if you go in a decimal, but it might. That's not really important. Yeah. Production. This one, there is no like, it's not as complicated as food because it's literally just adding all the hammers. Like, for example, let's work these. And now my citizen's starving. But look how much more production I get. Because these each provide a certain amount of production. Now production, you usually get production from terrain. You can also get from production buildings like these, for example, are the specialist ones. I'm pretty sure there are some other production. Ooh, I got the hanging gardens in here. I never knew I got that. It's really good. Maybe it's because no one else won tradition. I think sometimes if no one, I was wondering why my city was growing a lot. Yeah, forge helps with production, but that's only for military units. And technically iron, but that's not really important. I'm not even sure I have iron in this city. I might have a. Oh no, I do, but it's only 1. Hydro plant's good for production, except this city only has 3 tiles next to a river. It's pretty bad. Lighthouse is good if you have sea resources. That's good for production. It's also good for food. Seaport, same thing. That's actually just golden sea, or golden production from sea tiles. Also, it helps with production for naval units. So. Spaceship factory, obvious. Well, the 3 production's insignificant. It's more so for the spaceship modifier. Stables are good for mounted units, and if you have a lot, like I have 1, 2, 3. Actually, 3 isn't a lot. Like if you have 4 or 5 pasture tiles, then it might be worth it just for that. But other than that, the mounted unit production, I guess, is nice. Stoneworks, happiness and production, that's different. Except my city only has 1. I don't even have a stone, it's just 1 marble. So that only buffs 1 tile. Watermill, 1 production, obviously, but that's mainly just a granary. Or a granary if your city's next to a river. The extra production isn't really that important. But yeah, it's for gold. This one, you have gold can be established through obviously terrain. I'm not sure how much gold I have. Gold comes from marble. I actually think that's literally the only gold tile I have. Oh no, it comes from sea resources as well. So it's good. Mainly pearls, fish. It provides gold with I think it's only with seaports, but it might be just have like 1 gold on it. So I don't even think it does. But yeah, gold, I can get gold by working these. Now my sea is really starving. Let's fix that. Alright, yeah, it's not going to be fixed. My people are just going to have to... Now, for starving, actually, I can explain how this works. So, if you're, say, starving, it doesn't immediately depopulate, or, like, go back a population. Like, how it works is, so I'm losing 6 food per turn because I have an excess of 200 food that's being eaten. I'm just not producing enough to maintain that. So once it drops down to 0, that's when you lose a population, because that citizen has died from famine. Technically, it's not one citizen, it's like millions of people. Or at least it scales up. So right now I'm at 70 million, but the difference between 1 and 2 population and 35 and 36 is a lot more for your population. But gold is mainly earned through trade routes, which, look at all those gold. I can actually see how much gold I'm earning from trade routes. 167. So if I had 0 trade routes, I would be at negative 167 per turn. So that's not good. City connections are really good for gold, but only once your cities get a high population. I'm not exactly sure how. I think it just boosts the gold output of 25%. Same with the railroad, respectively boosts it by 25% in terms of production rather than gold. But apparently I'm getting 22 from our civilizations. That might be deals. 28 from religion. I'm not even sure what my religion is this game. I can check. Oh, I have tithe, that's why. So that's good. Religious community is also really good. Swords into Plowshare is pretty bad because I was at war for most of the game, but Swords into Plowshare, or actually no, religious community, and is the way it works is that, so if you have 15 followers, you have 15% production in your city. So that'd be this number times 15%. Yeah, there's the modifier. So without the city modifier or religion modifier, I'd only be getting 87. And even if, like, let's say I'm going to build a spaceship part, my production boosts up because I have that spaceship factory. And I also have Empire modifier. Oh yeah, that's because it's got the Hubble. And I also have the modifier for apparently the unit domain. I'm not even sure if that counts, but, or if like this counts as a unit. Obviously it does, but it's kind of cheesy. And then gold also from specialists, like, that's not really that much gold, though. It's better just, like, don't work gold specialists unless you're going freedom. Production specialists, actually, if you have the thing in commerce, let's just check real quickly. That's not the correct screen. If you have this, great merchants earn 25% faster, receive double gold from great merchant trade missions. That might be worth it. Kind of like and also, if you complete this, you can buy great merchants, but that's not really worth it. I suppose it's worth it if you're Venice, the Doge, but I mean, normally I just adopt the opener, grab this, and then move on to rationalism. I didn't even do that this game. No wonder why I'm earning so little. But I mean, there's a really good gold in exploration treasure fleets. I think all of my trade routes are cargo ships, so if I got that, I'd probably get like an extra 40 gold from trade routes, so that's pretty nice. This is also kind of nice, just +1 gold for harbor, seaports, or lighthouse, but that's only 3 buildings per 1 city, and I have like 3 coastal cities, or actually 4, so that's not as worth it. This is good for, that's just 3 production. I don't know what I'm talking about this. I guess it applies to gold production. Happiness doesn't apply to this. Yeah, land snakes, that's not really gold related. This isn't gold related. This isn't gold related. Only these 2 really are. And this one only if you're working the slots. There's probably, actually there's, monarchy is really good for gold. Because like every 2 citizens. So I'm getting an extra 18 gold and minus 18 on happiness. That's pretty good for my capital. This doesn't deal with gold at all. I mean, 15% production of building wonders, that's kind of nice. But that's for production based, not gold based. Honor, you get gold for enemy units killed. So and you also gain culture. You basically, and also great general production. You should pretty much just be at war constantly if you're at honor. 50% production melee units. You don't get a building for that. I mean, forge applies to land units, but I think those actually stack. So use gold cost of military units. That's actually really good. I think Shaka's is like half maintenance cost for land use, but I'm not exactly sure. I should know how to play them. But yeah, these aren't even production or gold related. so there's no reason to look. If I went order, I might delve deeper into those. Actually, I can dive into autocracy because that's the forces. These, yeah, mobilization. Gold cost of purchasing units reduced by 33%. That means you can purchase units for 2/3 the cost if, yeah, none of these else. Nationalism, that's same thing except for unit maintenance. So you can actually stack that with, I think it was the policy was an honor. Let me check. I think it was this. Oh no, that's upgrading. That'd be a bit OP if it was just, but I think that stacks with like other things. And then these, oh, total war. 25% production ability military units. I think that stacks with all the other benefits. I don't see why it wouldn't, but it does. Alright, now science, I've talked about faith. I'm not really sure I want to talk about faith. Well, actually that sounds really bad. Oh, no, I don't have the most. I have 3 cities. But I was the first to found a religion to be Holy City. I never knew that you could change your name once. I thought it was just, like, I thought once you founded it in your city, the city stayed the same. But basically, you get faith. The first faith building is shrine. I'm not even sure. I know I have it. The second is a temple, and those are actually the only 2 faith buildings. Everything else is either from your pantheon belief, your religions, or your great prophet, your holy sites. Everything else is from those. So, and then you can build certain religious units, like right now. The general ones are missionaries and inquisitors. Missionaries spread, inquisitors remove. You can use great prophet to spread. It is actually, not only do they get 1 more spread, but their spreads are also more powerful. Not only that, they can also make a holy site, which is, I think, starts at 5 faith per turn. That's pretty nice if you work it on top of whatever else the tile yields. And if you go down, if you go down I think it's piety, your holy sites give tremendous bonuses. Yeah, like the finisher holy sites provide 3. So mine would be given 5 culture. And then there's this one. Holy sites provide 3 gold, so that's 5 culture, 3 gold plus the faith. I don't think any of these, yeah. Reformation beliefs, if you do this, then it's just, I don't have it, but it's an additional belief. They're actually Reformation beliefs. Oh, jeez. But Reformation beliefs are not, they're a completely separate category. It's not like 1 more follower or 1 more enhancer. It's just, so missionaries convert to barbarians. The only real good one is Jesuit education, which may build universities, public schools, and research labs with faith. This one is pretty good in Civ 6, not gonna lie. Especially with the new mechanic for war weariness. If you get a ton of barbarians spawning, then you can convert them to your side and fuel the war machine. But then again, your city would be at like 8 war weariness, which isn't good. It's not good to purposely put your city under. I actually think, are those the only 2 reformer? Those are the only 2 reforming belief sides. So only 2 people went piety and got that. Generally, I don't go piety. However, if you're a strong faith-based civ, I probably should have gone for that this game, to be honest. I think I just randomly plopped down 2 holy sites and just said, why not? Just keep pushing. But I should have just, this wasn't really a standard game. Normally I do the old tradition, first 2 policies of commerce, rationalism, ideology. I normally go freedom, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. But pretty much, I talked about this. The strategy is either open tradition or liberty. This is kind of related to culture, but just quick overview. You open tradition or liberty. You don't usually open honor or piety. It's not really good. I suppose if it's like Rage and Barbarians, you open honor, but you don't really open piety. Piety might be a good second policy to go down. And you don't need to go down these fully. You generally finish tradition or liberty with the openers, but you can only, like, let's say you want a Reformation belief. You can only take 4, or like you only want to take 4. Yeah, it's completely fine. You don't have to finish it. Or if you just want the benefits from holy sites, you can get theocracy. or if you're like low on gold. Actually, that's really good for gold. Increase city's output by 25%, or at least they're only. Or no, that's actually temples, so they don't even need your religion. That's actually really good. Or let's say you just want to spam religious units, get Mandate of Heaven, and that's fine. And then yeah, so done with faith. Next one, tourism. I've talked about that. Culture. I've talked about that. Here, the production screen. Obviously, the first thing you should probably notice is not purchase, but I'll talk about that first. You can purchase, for example, like to purchase a great engineer, I need 6,000 faith. It scales up. I'm pretty sure it's actually, this one I'm pretty sure is linear, but it might be exponential. I haven't really purchased many units with faith. I mainly just stockpile it and buy like great prophets and missionaries to spread it in my own cities. But yeah. Or sometimes I just turtle it in my capital so no one else gets the good benefits. But yeah, you can purchase units with faith. Like I'm getting 98 per turn. That means in like a lot of turns, like 60 turns, I'd be able to get a great engineer. So that's good. Alright. And it's pretty much the same thing for gold, except I already have a stockpile of gold. And then gold, for example, like actually I should probably talk about this. You can't purchase a unit if you have a unit here. So like let's move that. Let's upgrade that. Helicopter gunships are trash. Don't get them. Like for example, you have two types of units, and that's why they're able to stack. You have military units, and these aren't even support units. They're civilian units. Well, I mean technically the Great General isn't really a civilian unit, but you have military. You have combat units, and you have non-combat units. That's a better way to put it. It's like, for example, if I were to buy a combat unit, so let's buy Giant Death Robot. That's one. Let's grab Medic. Oh, I can't even get that. Sentry. What if it even is available on this? I don't even know. I don't use Giant Death Robots. Modern Armor, they upgrade to Giant Death Robots. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, but so I want to buy a civilian unit. Alright, I can buy a worker or a settler, or a non-combat unit. So I can buy that. So here's a worker. So you can have those two. But if your city's on a coast, you can also have a naval unit as well. So, for example, let's get a missile cruiser. Missile cruiser. Jesus. Let's get targeting. Let's get targeting. Let's get supply. That's pretty good. That's basically the air repair, the march of naval units. I'd say go for that. And then push logistics. Logistics is always nice. +1 range on naval units isn't really as good, mainly because you have so much movement. Like, these have what? Like, they have like, I can actually just see this. So, they can move, let's see, I think that's 8, but +1 range isn't really as important on these. So, but also you can purchase as many air units as the sea. I mean, technically you can also buy a workboat, which is a non-combat naval unit. So you can stack tons of units in this city. But also you can buy as many air units as the city can hold. So that means let's buy tons of atomic bombs. Alright, so I'm out of space. I have 8 atomic bombs in this city, plus the 2 stealth bombers. I might actually want to nuke tons of cities, just for the fun. Because I haven't really explained, I might have to explain nukes, because I didn't explain that in my military episode, but. So you can stack tons of stuff in the actual city itself. That's kind of related to purchasing, really. That's kind of it. I mean, you can also purchase buildings like stadium. That's happiness. Hospital. That's food. Now it'll only take 13,000 turns to grow. But yeah, that's pretty much purchasing. For building, you can build. It's really the same thing, except rather than using gold, it uses production generated by your city. So like, and you can also, you can't buy wonders, but you can build them. So Sydney Opera House, that's pretty. Oh, International Games is gone. I think I've talked about this. Yeah, I have in my tourism. But yeah, you can't buy wonders, you have to build them. And like, I could starve my city in order to Oh, I actually have the statue of whatever it is. Statue of Liberty, so I get the benefits from having specialists. Anyway, so yeah, you need to build wonders, you can't buy them. Same, you can also use wealth, that's another thing. So yeah, it's 30 gold right there. But yeah, that's kind of it. Up here, you can change your citizen management from, like, let's unlock all these tiles and reset. Let's actually unlock every single thing, and we can see what the city will do, because this isn't the AI, this is just the programming itself on city. Yeah, now I'm actually out, so we can just work a workshop. So right now I'm working every single tile, but that's actually probably not the best. I need to make some. It would be better if I did this in a city that didn't have as much population. How much can I do without making the city starve? I'm actually going to work everyone. You can see, like, it normally starts on default focus, which I'm not even sure what that focuses. It just focuses. I'm not sure how it decides which tile to work. But if you do food focus, then it'll focus a bit more on food. It's not focusing fully on food because obviously there are some tiles I'm working, like I'm working on one food tile here and one food tile here. And those could be replaced by these two food. I think it goes based on the amount of turns it'll take to grow. So for example, if I work the maximum amount of food tiles, then there aren't really a lot of food tiles to work. Or a lot of good ones, I should say. I mainly relied on the hanging urns. So I think I actually won't be able to get this under 22 turns. Oh no, I did. I managed to. It's just that. So I don't really know what the city itself is doing. But I guess. So let's reset. Alright. Production, what this does is it gets the most production without going into stagnation or. Well, it sometimes does go into stagnation, but without starving. Like, I could get more production by, like, removing all these citizen tiles. I'm getting. Actually, this one. I think I'm getting production from this, from this, from this, from this, 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 this. This is the most amount of production my city will. Now this is the most amount of production my city will get. But obviously it's starving, so production focus gives the most amount of production without making it starve. Same with gold focus, except I have literally 4 gold tiles in the city. Gold focus, I guess it's kind of good if you're running a deficit, like I am. Science focus, same thing without starving. Like, I don't know why it does this. It's losing 0.5 food, but somehow takes. I guess that's kind of really irrelevant. But culture focus, same thing. Not really used. Great person focus, I assume it just does all slots, but I'm not sure. Like, let's do production focus. It changes the slots. Like, I'm getting 144 now. I know I always do manual control, but if you do great person focus, I assume it works as many great people as possible without starving the city, which it could work one more, but yeah. Faith focus, faith focus. I wonder if I can reset these. No, it just focuses on faith. So, great people generation, I think I talked about this, but get modifiers. And your city, like, if I'm working every single thing, I don't know why. Work every single slot. For some reason, it's not showing great engineer progress. I guess that's because I have made none, but that's kind of irrelevant. But I already have tons of great scientist points, tons of great rare points, a few great merchant points. But these, they really show. It's done city by city. But it's done as to where, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but you'll never see 2 great people spawn at once. Or like 2 of the same. So like, I'm pretty sure it's empire-wide, but maybe each city is like its own individual counter. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but just know that this is your progress towards great people, and it's based on your specialist points, which I've talked about. You can mainly work them for the great person points, but they also provide benefits like you get 3 culture, 1. Well, normally it's just 3 culture, but with Statue of Liberty, it's +1 production, and with I think it's secularism, it's +2. And then if you get freedom, you also get half the food being consumed by citizens who are specialists, and you also get half unhappiness from specialists. So that's more benefits for specialists. And then you have obviously all your wonders, which you can actually see the slots. Like, let's go there. You can only edit that on the tourism screen. You see all your great work buildings, which there are only 4. And then you see all your normal buildings. That's pretty much the city. Now I think to end this video I'm going to have to nuke all my neighbors now. So let's choose production, international games. International games, just promote a unit. Just heal. Fortify, fortify, fortify. F is the hotkey for fortify. Hotkeys are... I normally don't use hotkeys, but hotkeys are sometimes really good. F. Oh, actually, let's grab cover. This is my super promoted XCOM squad. Siege, March. Oh, I never knew melee units could have March. So melee units, it might be better to get cover, then March, and then medic. Wait, how can you get March and medic? I don't know. Oh, that's actually all. So, we're gonna nuke. I'll actually might as well just discuss what a nuke does. I might have to nuke some of my own states because I'm not sure there are. Oh, what? He recaptured his capital. That's unacceptable. I'm going to have to take it back now because technically I feel as though I haven't won. So I'm going to do turn of war. Do the nukes. Let's go. Bam. Oh, that's rip. Let's go. Artillery are useless at this stage of the game. Let's recapture this city. Oh my god, don't remind me. I know what I am doing. There, the city is mine. Alright. Production. International games. It's good. I think I can go straight for March. Oh no! How's that March? Do I need siege and then March? Maybe I need drill 3 and then March. One unit. Oh, I can't fortify. If you have 2 units in a city, you can't fortify. There. Just make a citadel. Oh yeah, so like here. Heal. Heal. No, let's just fortify. Fortify. Oh, I have to move all these now. Shoot. Fortify. Worker. Sleep. Workboat. Is there actually something that isn't improved? That. Atomic bombs. Let's actually do a different. Stealth bomber. What the hell is that? Oh, evasion. That's pretty good. Can get bombardment 3. That's kind of good after air repair. Just want to go for the bombardments and then straight for logistics. Alright, heal those. I forgot to use these last turn. Are there no other units needed? Alright, so an atomic bomb has a range of 10. The nuclear missile, I'm pretty sure, has a range of 12. And then you rebase within 20, so... But, what it does is... Let's say there's an army on my border. Which there isn't, but... If you nuke your own unit... If you nuke, what is this? Why can I not nuke here? I don't understand why I cannot nuke here. I have no clue why I cannot. But, say if I nuke an army. Let's nuke my own army. I don't want to nuke the city. I just want to nuke one of my army. I have 2 units here, so let's say if I nuke here, then units will take damage. Oh god, I broke the game. And, oh, I managed to hit my city as well since it's within 2. So, units take damage. Somehow they're still alive. But the tiles, they get irradiated. Some of them, they just get pillaged, and some of them have actual radiation. Radiation just depletes the tile of all of its... Like, it's gained 1 production from working a sheep tile, which is normally 3 food, 3 production at this stage of the game. So, I mean, yeah, radiation also takes like 3 to 4 turns to clean up rather than just improving a pillaged tile. And if it's also pillaged, so I would have to clean up the radiation and then improve it. So if your city gets nuked, not only do you have to deal with, I might as well talk about this, the population gets half and it kills off some of the units. Like I had, I think 10 stealth bombs in this city, now I have 5. I'm not sure if they actually take damage, I assume so. Yeah, they're all like little to no health. So somehow if you have units that manage to survive, then I guess they just take a ton of damage, air units. Because the giant death robots, they even took like 2/3 damage from a standard atomic bomb. Not nuclear missile, nonetheless, would probably kill everything, all the units. But I didn't buy any, so I can't show. But yeah, these tiles, they got, I don't even think I was improving them, but they have fallout on them. A plains tile, I'm not even sure how they have 2 food at this point. Plains tiles should normally be 1 food, 1 production, so I'm not sure how that works, but that's mainly the effects of if you hit a city. And obviously, since one of Bratislava's units was in the fray, then there, I'm at war with them. So like if I were to nuke, now Bratislava's my enemy, or Singapore is always my enemy. Let's say I nuke Bratislava, but then I somehow managed to hit Ram-Kam Heng's great general, then we would be at war. It's kind of a... So even if your allies are in the fray, you just immediately declare war. But let's drop a nuke on them, teach them a lesson. It lags up the game a ton. The animation's pretty awesome, though. I gotta say that. And then, yeah, they're finished. I'm gonna turn all my settings on the lowest possible for the next video, so no one will have to bear through. Oh, I'm actually out of... So, I have 8 more. So, I've kind of discussed its tolls on the city. I don't think it destroys any buildings, though. I think you maintain all the buildings. I think buildings only get destroyed if a city gets taken, so that's a good thing. So let's go for Wang Sali Wang. I can actually nuke it from 2 tiles away, I think. Yep, this city took damage. So, as long as you're within 2 tiles, basically. So I might be able to nuke Singapore. Nope, I'm 1 off. Let's nuke the Panama. Let's nuke Panama. I'm not even sure who's allied, but I'm pretty sure I'm at war with who's ever allied with them now. I've declared war on Napoleon. Alright. Uranium ended. But I still have 1, even though I have like 5 atomic bombs. So, at war with him, let's nuke that. Get rid of those units. I'm already at war with Singapore, so it doesn't matter. For some reason I can't hit the Vatican, I have no clue why. Oh, it's because they must be allied with someone I'm at peace with. That's the only real logical explanation here. Is there any random units? Let's nuke Gandhi's trade route. Oh, I can't. I think if I can actually nuke Tours. Take that out. So it's actually pretty cool. If you're at peace with someone, you won't be able to nuke their city-states. I actually never knew that. Alright, next. I think it's only my own cities now. I can't nuke near Sidon. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's nuke... how many more do I have left? I have 2 left. Let's nuke a unit. And it also destroys all... I'm not sure. I think it's within 2 is the adjacency of the tiles. It's my last atomic bomb. There are 2 more units I see that need nuking. And also, I think it might be actually within 3 for the fallout, but within 2 for unit damage. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's really it I have for city center discussion. I have bombs I can use. What is it? I think it's P. Is it P? S. I'm not even sure why it's S. Oh, the war for Persepolis is on. Shoot. Let's just suicide the stealth bombers into the anti-aircraft. Oh wow, those are actually more powerful. I thought that since they weren't mobile SAMs, it wouldn't really help. It's just one shot. Oh, not even. That's lame. But I guess they're on half health, so... No, it's not even half health. It's like they're on 0 health. Let's just get rid of these units. Stealth bomber's range is amazing. Love them. I can shoot the worker. Let's one-shot the artillery. And just... what else? There's a half... But I actually can't shoot in those territories. Or no, it's out of range. How was I able to hit out here? I don't even know. Oh, they were in different cities. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Let's just one-shot that. Yeah, that's really it for a city center screen. I'm not sure what more I can do for this series, but if I think of something, I probably will do it. So, yep, that's it for today. Tomorrow it is. Oh, God. Why does it always do this?